Hello, I'm Steve Lusk with the Red Bank Church of Christ, and I'm here to share with you another in our series of devotionals from our His Life devotional book. All this year, we've been looking at this devotional book in order to try to understand more and more about what it means to be like Jesus. We want to live our lives like He lived His life. This week, we're looking at some miracles from the Gospel of John. Last week, we looked at some of the miracles of Jesus from the Synoptic Gospels, Matthew, Mark, and Luke. John's Gospel lists 7 major signs or miracles or wonders that Jesus performed. And first of all, we want to ask ourselves the question, why did Jesus perform these miracles? And today's devotional helps us to understand why he performed miracles. It wasn't just because he could, or just because he wanted to show off his power, or demonstrate in some way that he could do things that were miraculous, but rather, Jesus did this in order to produce faith. Let's look at our text for today, which is from John chapter 4, verses 46 through 54. Now, John records in chapter 2, the first miracle that Jesus did was turning water to wine at the wedding feast in Cana. He did this really at the request of his mother. But the second miracle that Jesus performs is here in this context. And so let's read the passage and then let's make just a couple of observations about it. First of all, the Bible says, "So he came again to Cana in Galilee, where he had made the water wine. And at Capernaum, there was an official whose son was ill. When this man heard that Jesus had come from Judea to Galilee, he went to him and asked him to come down and heal his son, for he was at the point of death. So Jesus said to him, 'Unless you see signs and wonders, you will not believe.' The official said to him, 'Sir, come down before my child dies.' Jesus said to him, 'Go, your son will live.' The man believed the word that Jesus spoke to him and went on his way. As he was going down, his servants met him and told him that his son was recovering. So he asked them the hour when he began to get better, and they said to him, 'Yesterday, at the 7th hour, the fever left him.' The father knew that this was the hour when Jesus had said to him, 'Your son will live.' And he himself believed, and all his household. This was now the second sign that Jesus did when he had come from Judea to Galilee." Now, there are many things that we can note from this particular passage, but just a couple of things to point out. First of all, I want you to understand that Jesus is very much aware of our needs. Jesus was aware of this man's needs before he ever asked. He also was aware that this man was interested in not just having his son healed, but in having faith in Jesus to be able to heal his son. What great faith this royal official, probably a Roman, probably a pagan, what great faith he had in Jesus to perform this miracle. Jesus knew that this boy was very ill at the point of death, and this man was desperate. He said, "I want you to help my son. He's about to die." Jesus said, "Go ahead and go. Your son will live." And I think it's interesting that in verse 50, the passage says, the man believed the word that Jesus spoke to him. You see, Jesus performed these miracles in order to produce faith in others. And in performing these miracles, the faith that many had in him was in fact verified. And that's the case here. You know, when we look at this miracle and other miracles of Jesus that are documented and verified by people who may not have been necessarily followers of Jesus or adherents to his will completely, we can see that Jesus was truly performing these by the power of God. And as a result, we too can have faith in Jesus that he was, in fact, the Son of God. Of course, the greatest miracle that was ever performed was when Jesus was resurrected from the dead. And Jesus went to ascend to his Father in heaven. And so we serve and believe in not one who lived and died 2,000 years ago, but one who lived and died and was resurrected and is alive today. As we look at these miracles of Jesus as recorded in the Gospel of John, may we too have faith that Jesus is alive and well, and that Jesus understands our needs, and that he will act in our best interest on our behalf. That's the kind of faith that we need to be a follower of Jesus as we look at his life. I pray that if there's something that we can do to help you here at the Red Bank Church of Christ, that you will let us know, that we can pray for you, that we can serve you in some way. And certainly we want to do that. So feel free to contact us either by phone or through our website or by email, and we'll be glad to respond to whatever needs you may have. Thank you so much for tuning in today to watch this brief devotional from his life, and I pray that your life will become more and more like his life. God bless.